Hey everyone, this is Rachel, and today I'm here with a new scrapbooking process video. Thanks so much for joining me here, and I hope you enjoy. If you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome, and I would love it if you would become a subscriber. You can also click on the notification bell so you always know when I have a new video up. Alright folks, let's get going! Hey everyone, I'm here once again with a new layout process video. Today I'm actually using a sketch and it's for a challenge for an online crop I'm participating in for my little scrapbook store, which is their crops happen on Facebook. So I'm doing challenge number 3. It's a little blurry, I know. So it's a page maps sketch, but the challenge, and this is from Heather Balzer, who's another YouTuber, is to actually take this single page sketch and turn it into a 2-page layout. So I thought that sounded really fun and something I would want to do. So I am going to go ahead and use this sketch to make a 2-page layout. So before I get started, just a couple things. I am using a page kit I put together, just including this. I pulled in this afterwards. So this is the page kit I made using mainly Flourish by Maggie Holmes. I did pull in some wood veneer, some doilies, some Prima brads. I couldn't think of the word brads. Awesome there. I may have mentioned before, I am moving, so I have a lot of things packed away. So I'm mainly working from page kits and a couple of recent purchases I've made that I hadn't packed away yet. I have all of my alphas kind of packed in a little container. So I just go over and I pull a couple of ones I think might work, and then I go and I put them back. So it's not packed, it's just sort of packed. Anywho, so that is one thing. This is a page kit I put together. Actually, I think I put together during one of my lives, just as kind of to show how to pull a page kit together. Second, if you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. It lets it lets YouTube know that you watched my video, that you enjoyed the video, and it helps me get seen by more people, and then I can share my love of scrapbooking. So yay! All right, now that I've nattered on for a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead, get you guys put on fast forward. So let's get going. All right, so I'm moving my embellishments and alphas off to the side. Funny note there, apparently I've been very lazy. Normally I put my chipboard on wax paper, but I just put it on a plastic bag that I keep my collections in because, yeah, like I said, I was lazy. All right, so this pink tone-on-tone geometric piece, I think I forgot to mention, this is all from the Flourish line. I don't know if I mentioned that or not. So as you can see in the sketch, there is a large piece of pattern paper on the bottom and then a short piece of pattern paper on the top. And then there are 3 photos and then a title and journaling block. So what I'm going to do to stretch this out to 2 pages is keep those 2 photos on the left on that left-hand side page, but then use the photo that's on the right-hand side over on the right-hand side page. And I'm going to add a couple more photos simply because having one tiny photo would just, be a little weird on one side of the page. I'm also going to stretch out the title and the journaling rather than have them together. I'm going to have the title on the left-hand side, but then move the journaling over to the right-hand side with the other photos. So I've trimmed down that pink geometric piece, and now I've also trimmed it so it doesn't stretch 24 inches across. And I'm going to go ahead and lay them down. Now I'm only putting ATG on the bottom because my plan is to tuck those 6x8 paper pad pieces, also from Flourish, behind them. Now, rather than one continuous pattern paper that was on the top quarter of the page, what I'm going to do is use the 6x8 paper pieces and mix it up. Now, originally I was thinking I was going to do as is in the sketch and have them just go straight across, but I didn't end up liking the way that looked. I'm just trimming them into pieces because I know what I pulled and what I'm going to end up doing. I'm going to end up not having equal amounts.
So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking about it, and I'm just not happy with the way it looks. I'm not so, but when I went to tuck that scrolly piece next behind the flower piece, I liked how it angled around. So I'm like, ooh, I will angle these instead. Now, what I'm going to do with the edge pieces is those I'm going to make sure are straight. So where it lines up with the end of the page and where it lines up with the pink geometric pattern, that's going to end up being straight. But the piece that doesn't line up with those is going to be more angled. And then obviously I'm not lining them up. Instead, I'm having them be staggered. So in this, I am differentiating from the sketch, and that is absolutely okay. Just because you're using a sketch does not mean you need to follow it tip top to bottom. Sometimes I'll just use one element from a sketch, whether it be photo placement or title placement or pattern paper layers, or that there's a certain type of mixed media going behind the paper. And so if you want to use just one element of a sketch, that is totally okay. Don't feel that you have to specifically follow a sketch. I almost never do. Now I am taking another gander at the sketch using my tablet, just getting a kind of idea. I liked over on the left hand side, I'm sorry, I know you can't see it right now, but over on the left hand side there was something tucked behind. There was also that tree element. Now rather than a tree, I'm using that doily, which brings the same idea of a round element over there on the left hand side. I'm also going to bring in another doily trimmed in half, and I'm going to bring that over in the upper right hand corner, and then down below that square photo that I'm putting ATG on right now. And that's actually where my journaling is going to end up resting once I write it, of course. So I'm getting my photos all laid down. So basically, as you can see, if you chopped out the 6 inches on the inside of the left hand side and the 6 inches on the right hand side, you would get the original sketch. All I did, as I said, was stretch it out. So you're going to see that tree element being a round element. I'm going to bring in another element below that. In the sketch, it's leaves. When I bring in is, right now I've got that bird that's a rectangle. It's too big the way it is, and I can't fit it anywhere where I like it because that bird's head is actually turned around. So if I put it all the way over on the right hand side, it looks like the bird is looking off the page, and that's just something that bothers me. So I'm pulling in the chipboard pieces. I've got that camera. I'm going to layer over the doily, and then I have the one that says remember this. I've got that little black and white leaf thing, chipboard piece, oh my goodness, leaf thing, that I'm using as the element down there. And now I went ahead and fussy cut out that bird, and then I took a black brush pen and just edged it in, so you don't have the white core paper poking through the ends. And I'm using that instead of the leaves that were in the original sketch. So I've also added that tag. In the original sketch, there is the tag or some sort of notebook page or something like that. And that's what the title and the journaling rested on. Now for this, I'm just going to have the title resting on it and not the journaling. As you can see, I was just writing my journaling, and that's going to go over on the right hand side. So obviously I am scrapbooking about food. Now that is not something I actually do a lot of, but this restaurant was amazing. So this is a Chinese restaurant in the town where my best friend works, and she had gone with a friend of hers and she raved about it. And this is true Asian food as opposed to Americanized Asian food. So those are steamed pork buns that have the soup inside the bun. So you bite off the top, you drink the soup, and then you eat the dumpling. So good. And they do the bone broth soups where they make it right in front of you. Right now, my alphas over on the right hand side are covering it up, but what they actually bring out is a bunch of the raw elements and then they cook it in this boiling bone broth. And then you can eat it about 20 minutes after they bring it to you. But it is amazing. And then there was a little coffee shop right down the street. So rather than get dessert at the Asian restaurant, we went down the street and got coffee and macarons for dessert. So I'm titling this Unforgettable Eats because it really was super amazing food. I was just blown away, and they give you so much food. Both my housemate and I ordered different soups, and we both ended up bringing home an entire quart each of soup, even though we ate our soup. So it was just amazing, amazing food. So I'm showing the layout the sketch once again. Now, one thing I'm going to add, and I am going to jump ahead simply because I'm going to add a whole bunch of them, and that's super duper repetitive. Right now, what I'm doing is I'm adding some wood veneer arrows, but I also have I tapped my microphone. I'm sorry if that made a noise. I'm going to be adding a ton of Prima brads. Now, these brads are super duper old, and I wanted to go ahead and use all of them. So I'm just going to skip ahead because super duper repetitive. Here I am putting in the last one. I used that pink pokey tool that is from We Are Memory Keepers, and I'm super happy the way this turned out. One last thing I'm going to do is add some Heidi Swapp Gold Color Shine. I seem to be in a gold color shine phase of scrapbooking currently, but that's okay. You go through phases of what you use in scrapbooking, and it's totally fine. That is going to complete my layout. Thank you guys so much for joining me here. If you could flick me a thumbs up, that would be super awesome. Have a wonderful day, everyone. Bye!